I'll be your light, your match, your burning sun. I'll be the bride and black that's making you run. I feel alright and we'll feel alright, 'cause we'll work it out. Yeah, we'll work it out. I'll be doing this if you ever doubt, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I'll be your ghost, your game, your stadium. I'll be your 50,000 clapping like one. I feel alright and I feel alright, 'cause I worked it out. Yeah, I worked it out. I'll be doing this if you ever doubt, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I've got my mind made up and I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
Well, hello, I'm Jerry McKee, and it's that time again. You're going to hear another clock go off. Of course, y'all used to that by now. Every Monday at 7 o'clock. And we got some great guests right here. We got an author here that's got a book that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about her growing up. We're going to hear all of her secrets, and we're going to hear her friends' secrets. We're just going to say here, and you think Facebook's going to be like a regular old kindergarten program by the time we get through. But it's...
Real staticky voice.
Oh, real staticky.
I was sneezing.
I think we're okay on that. She said a little staticky, but I think we're okay on that. Check to make sure here. Yeah, let's see. We'll take it out of my pocket. How's that? Anyway, we're going to have all kind of, that's my engineer in the background that came out like that as Edna. She comes out, I keep her back in the room locked up, and when she gets out sometimes it escapes and comes out to me right here. But we got Hester Booker here, and she's going to talk a little bit about growing up. I'm going to ask her some questions there. And you know how horrible on names I am? Well, she got two guests here, and the names didn't shoot me, so they're going to have to tell you their names. So let me flip over to them right here. Hester, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
That's great. And let's introduce your guest right here.
My guest is Hester Booker and A. Ray Jones.
A. Ray Jones.
A. Ray Jones.
And you're a pastor.
No, I'm not.
No, you're elder?
Trustee.
Trustee. Well, okay,
Yes.
I knew I'd have you in there somewhere or another.
Yes. Yes.
And you've been living up in New York sometimes. You come home.
I'm from Union. I spent 30 years in New York, and I am back home for the last 15 years.
Wow.
Love it.
Yes. Well, you always got a place to come home.
Yeah.
And after, when you was growing up, I read your book, and everybody can see the book in the corner right there, and instrumentally sound, and we was talking earlier, and we was talking about, I said, well, what kind of instruments did you play? Because you use a lot of instruments in there, and giving reference to. And I says, wow, she plays all these instruments, and she says, no, I just sing. And I said, well, that's real good, because you got that God's voice, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, she does.
And now, when you were growing up as a child, and tell me a little bit about when you was growing up in school, and a little bit, how did you realize that you was a good singer?
Well, I always went to Bible school, BBS, and grew up in a elementary school called New Primary. And I can remember...
Was that Union?
Yes, New Primary. It's
Wow.
still, what is it? What street is that?
Conwell.
Conwell,
Yeah.
Macbeth area.
Oh, okay.
And at that age, the teachers had us singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you know. And had a very good staff of teachers back there in that elementary school, segregated all, you know, back then. And it was called New Primary. I think we did first and second grade there. Then we came to another school on the other side of town, Macbeth Elementary School.
Okay.
And then we had we didn't call it middle school, but it was called Cohen Street School, elementary school.
So what grades were in the school there?
First and second in New Primary, third and fourth at Macbeth, fifth and sixth up at Cohen Street,
And 7.
and seventh. And then in 8th grade, we went to high school, the New Sims High School.
Wow, you know, when I went to school in the elementary school, in our little school, we had 1st through the 8th grade.
Oh, no.
And that's all of us there together, 1st through the 8th. And then after that, the 9th through the 12th was high school. And now, was it segregated? You talk about segregation then.
All the way.
And so I know when I was going to school, it hadn't really started blending yet, I don't think, with together. Because I can remember my 1st grade all the way through whenever I quit, I think it was only one person of color was there that I can remember.
What year was that?
It was in the 65, 67, 68, only up to 69.
Wow.
And, you know, well, of course, talking about living in a small town too, so.
Yeah, well, I think our integration took place at Sims. I think it was 68. I think the 10th grade went to Union High School. And I graduated that year, but the 10th grade went to the Union High School. And then next year, everybody went. You know, they told
Well, how was that changed? I mean, how
it was a little violent at first.
right?
It was a little violent. I remember I drove a school bus, and the children at Sims, we came out and said, you know, we didn't want to lose our school. And they start throwing rocks across town. Something happened over there. And I came home from school. I was in a hurry to get home so I could just see what was happening. But I came home and I lived on a little street called Berry Avenue. And you came down the street, turned here, and I hit my neighbor's car. Trying to get home, park that bus. But when he came out, I said, did I hit the car? He said, no, go home and park. I was about from here to the front yard. When I got home, he said, come back, I think you hit our car. I said, I don't know what I could do. I can't, you know, but I lost 10 points off my license for that incident.
Now, see, people don't realize nowadays that, you know, that seniors and high school students drove the school bus.
We drove the school bus.
Now, I wanted to drive a school bus. I couldn't wait to get up to where I could drive that school bus. And guess what?
What?
I never could. You know why?
Adults start driving.
Oh, speeding ticket I got.
Oh.
And they said, nope.
I drove all year. This probably was in November when I got that ticket.
Yeah.
Driving too fast for conditions and leaving the scene of an accident. 6 and 4.
Well,
I
he told
drove.
you to go on, didn't he?
Hi. He told me I didn't hit it. I went on home park. And 10 points. I drove all year long on those 2 points.
Woo.
Wow.
Sweating bullets there, wasn't you?
No, I didn't have a car to drive, so I just drove a school bus.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's fun when you don't have a car to me, because I, you know, growing up didn't have a car. I said, well, I can't wait to drive that big old yellow bus.
I'm telling you.
But and I think that I know a lot of times they and I read where they had in Virginia recently. My niece sent me, or cousin sent me a message saying, you know, my kid 3 days this week they sent us a message saying they didn't have no school bus driver, so we had to take them to school. And I'm thinking, you know, we never had that shortage. We had high school students driving that bus.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You only made about $30 or $40 now. Wasn't much money involved, but it was. I'm a school bus driver.
Yeah, yeah. And let's see, when I grew up myself, we had chauffeur's license instead of these CDLs.
Oh,
called
yeah.
chauffeur license.
Oh, okay.
And you could drive. If you had chauffeur license, you could drive anything. That was good times and scary times. I know, like I said, we didn't see much. I know in Hickory they had some things went on there, you know, during that time. But I never did quite understand any of it, to be honest with you, because I just I didn't see any difference
In the
and going to school together or doing things. I just didn't see any difference whatsoever growing up. Unfortunately, I had some of my camp people and brothers and sisters were very prejudiced and things, but I just seen the person that I had to play with. I lived out in the country. I didn't have nobody to play with. And I seen someone, no difference.
well, play is another thing, and then going home is another thing. See you tomorrow. You know,
Right.
it wasn't. I'm not going home with you. You're not going home with me. We'll see you tomorrow. And play. That's the way we played, because I lived on a dead end street, and whites lived at the top, and we lived at the bottom. We were the best of friends.
Yeah.
We were the best of friends. We didn't go to school together, but when we came home, we played.
Exactly.
And our parents were somewhat cordial, you know, and they might have a Friday night drink, you know.
Okay. A little
And the
game.
children would play outside, but we had a great relationship with the people we grew up with. I think I remember her name was Butchie Wade, maybe.
I know Butchie was.
Yeah, Butchie Wade.
Yes, I sure
I
do.
remember her. She had a sister, I think, Suzette, maybe Suzette. And
She's
Tommy.
married to Roger Wade.
Huh?
She's married to Roger Wade.
Roger Wade. Hey,
Yeah.
we grew up on the same
okay.
street. We
Yeah.
had no problems.
Well, they still good people. They,
Yeah, yeah.
I see them quite often.
Yeah, especially when they had the restaurant. They had a restaurant there for a while.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Actually, I managed that restaurant for them for a while.
You did?
Before they finally sold it, yeah.
Yeah, we had a program there. I think we was with We Care Incorporated then. You ever heard of that?
Okay.
And Wade Hampton was he was the president of that club. We had a very viable club. We Care Incorporated, working each child and receiving excellence. That's the acronym.
You got a great memory.
Huh?
You got a great memory.
I keep it 100.
Exactly. We're going to talk about that a little bit, too.
We're going to talk about that a little bit too, but that was a organization that worked with children, and some of the children that we worked with back then are probably going to explode and do more things in the next 5 or 10 years, maybe.
Right.
Like your niece Patty, smart as ever.
Now, Patty, you and I can't think. I lost his name.
Hester.
I know Hester.
Leopold.
Yes, and
When y'all were,
Ray. Yes.
anyway, when y'all were growing up, did you see some major changes as far as into segregation, into that transformation over? Because I know some had some real difficult times, and some really didn't. They just had, you know, even now, I know that looking at some of the churches, it seemed like it's still segregated.
Yeah. It is.
And it should be. I mean, I love going to visiting all kind of churches. I went and visited a snake handling church and sit there and watch them play the rattler snakes and stuff like that.
Wow.
Because I'm always interested. I've preached in a Presbyterian church there in Gaffney a few times, and it's a black church. But it's to me, we still got a long ways to go.
We do.
Because we're still separating ourselves, and that's getting better, I think. Even with the younger kids coming up, of course, they don't see each other much. They just look at each other on the phone.
Yeah. We've got a long way to go, but I don't know how we could measure that because we've come a long way.
Right.
And I don't know how far we got a long way to go, but we've come a long way.
And I think because I see my granddaughter, they got great friends, and I mean, it's just like, to me, it's different than when we was growing up, the way it is now. Sometimes we like to bring up things that from the past, all of us got past that got negatives in it.
It happened because if I tell the truth, really, I wrote that book because I heard of, as a grown woman, I had never heard of the Black Wall Street incident. I had never heard of that until 5 or 6 years ago, 10 years ago maybe. That happened. I said, I got to get instrumentally sound because the things that's being revealed as we get older. You mean that happened? That happened.
That actually happened.
It happened, but the reason that I heard of it, and I heard of Juneteenth, is because of going to Tuskegee. Students were there from Tulsa. Students were there from Texas and what have you. And I didn't know it until then, and that was, that was what, 18, 19 years old. I had never heard of Juneteenth. And
well, I didn't until here, until they started celebrating it here. Because it's just, I just never did heard about it. And
right. And most of the ones I went to school with, they said, that's their 4th of July. It's Juneteenth. And I was like, okay, I knew one 4th of July, and they said, no, our Juneteenth was at that time, and that's what I started relating to because, like I said, I went to school with a lot of kids from those two areas.
Yeah.
And they spoke of it, and it was like, okay, and then the more that you got with them, the more that they explained it, and you was like, wow, I didn't understand that America was like that at that time.
But look how we had such a great time with how our parents helped us celebrate the 4th of July.
Yes.
Thank God. We finna get an outfit,
Oh, yes.
watermelon, a cookout.
Oh, yes.
So Independence Day was very important to us.
Oh,
You know?
yes. Yes,
We
it was.
celebrate the 4th of July, and I celebrate the 4th of July now. We're not going to ever quit celebrating the 4th of July.
No.
We welcome Juneteenth, but it's not my 4th of July.
well, it's different. And,
It's
and you know, we're celebrating our freedom here in the United States, you know, on the 4th of July, independence. And to me, it's all people. It's not just saying, well, we got our own and we're here and it's not here.
Right.
But also, when you talk about Juneteenth, you talk about Martin Luther King Day, to me, Black History Month in February. To me, it needs to be more celebrated because it's history. And I love history.
I do
I
too.
love looking back because we learn from history.
Oh, yes.
We learn about our mistakes. We learn about the things that worked great. And it's a learning process.
Oh,
I remember when I went to first went to the university, and we got to talking about. I think Dr. Charles wrote on the board, "Why we don't want this to happen anymore with Nat Turner.
Right.
Why do we talk about it now? We don't ever want this to happen again."
Dr. Charles. You had Dr. Charles?
Man, I love
Dr.
Dr.
Charles got to be 105 years old.
I had
I'm 90. Hey, I love Dr. Charles.
yeah.
He did that goose step for you. He's the
Yes.
greatest teacher.
So, yeah.
If you want history on well, I think it's early civilization, you start and then go on to the other histories.
Yes.
But Dr. Charles, he's there for you. He's there for you to teach you the basic history in order that you might go through the universities, I think.
Yeah. But believe it or not, I had Dr. Charles one summer. I needed a course to go along with my courses at Tuskegee, and I went to the university, and I had Dr. Charles at that time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
History,
and my
history.
grandkids has had Dr. Charles.
Yes.
He's been around.
He's
I think he retired now, though.
I think he has.
I think he has. Yes.
Yeah. He come down to the bat himself at the wisdom table. They got a wisdom table down there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see him down there sometimes. And
But,
especially, I wanted to talk to him when we was talking about this, keeping it 100, and I was going to talk to him about Rene Descartes, you know, but I never did get to talk to him. But we read it. I got a book called Heads Up Philosophy, and that gave me everything I needed.
Yeah, I had a philosophy teacher told me, he says, everybody going to pass his classes because there's no wrong answers. I'm thinking, well, I'm glad I took this one. There's no wrong answers.
Oh.
But now, in writing your book, what inspired you to write this book? You know, we all sometimes we think about we want to write a book about this or that. And I think about, well, I'm going to write a book about my life like that. So, well, I don't have those chapters.
Let me look at the first, which I already know, but I'm going to look at the first.
Read a little something.
And
What kind of instrument are you? That's what I asked. That's the first thing. I thought about the instruments. The reason this drum is here was that when I was younger, I could always, you know, hear a drum or something. I hear a drum. That was the basketball. That was the basketball. And this trumpet here, we used to go to, what's the, South Carolina Baptist?
Convention?
Congress of Christian Education.
The Congress of Christian Education.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks before we get ready to go, something like I hear a bugle or something. I can hear it. I did. And that's how, because I wanted to get there so bad to the Congress. Besides college, one of the best educational classes I've ever had. In about next month, I'm going to do a class. It's not a class, but it's a breakfast. I hope you and your wife could make it at my church. Well, it's my church, but I haven't been since the pandemic.
right.
But the name of it is, what's the name of this new class? What's the name of it? Let me see.
I bet when you heard that trumpet like that, you're thinking, Jesus, come back.
Hey,
Is that really happening?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's conflict.
Conflict.
In the church.
Oh, okay. That's a good topic.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Man, that's a good topic.
In the church. I had it down at
What was it? Sumter or was it?
Sumter.
Sumter. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the first incident that they used was the Cain and Abel, the brothers.
Right.
And then they talked about where's the conflict in that? Where's the conflict?
Yeah, Esau and Jacob.
Yeah, Esau and Jacob. See, he didn't get what he said about the conflict and then put it together in what's going on in your church and how to handle the conflict in your church. The conflict was that he accepted one's offering, but he didn't accept the other one.
Right.
And his countenance failed. You know what happened after that, don't you?
Oh, yes.
That led to the murder.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful in the church when we want red carpet. We want green carpet.
Been a lot of churches split up over carpet.
Think about when Martin Luther put them things on the door.
Oh, yes.
When he put those, some of them was, well, how are we going to the babies when they christen them? Those rules that he put on that door caused conflict in the church.
Yeah. Well, you know,
And there's so much conflict.
it is.
And we're not aware.
At our church, we've had a couple little things, but not really nothing we can handle. But I always handle, to me, conflict. First thing, we're going to pray about it. And the next thing is, we're going to bring everybody together. It's not going to be he say over here and this say here. We're bringing together, and we're going to hash this out right here. And just like Barney Five, nip it in the bud.
Yeah,
You know,
it's got to be a plan of action.
you've got to have
have a
that,
plan
and
of
that's just anything in life.
Anything.
Yeah.
If you got a problem with your brother or sister, or you got a problem with them, why not go ahead and just bring it up? you know, go ahead and confront it.
It's a dichotomy, too, of life. Sometimes, do you know when to be quiet or when to talk?
Yes.
You know, there's that there, too. You got to know when.
Yeah. Well, you got to have forgiveness in your heart, too.
Forgiveness,
Because,
yes.
I mean, you might say, well, you know, I don't know what they think about this right here. Well, try looking at it the way they're thinking about it, their thoughts about it.
Yeah. The first thing you do, the church is love. You need to put on, I think I heard a preacher say it last week, you need an overcoat of love.
Yeah.
Not just love. You got to put on an overcoat because you've forgiven somebody that has wronged you or you wronged them.
Yeah. People don't realize how hard it is to love.
Oh, yes.
We can say it. You hear? Well, see, we use that love so much that we just say, well, you don't even know the stranger. Bye, I love you. You hear it on TV. You hear it anywhere, you know, and you haven't even seen this person. You don't know nothing about this person, and you're telling, okay,
Tell me
bye, I
you
love
love
you.
Yeah.
And to me, we've used it so loosely that we really lost the meaning of it,
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
and that can take away a lot of conflict, can't it?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes.
When you we're talking about your book here, and they can see the book in the corner there. They go to Amazon, they can go Google it, and they can find all kind of places it's located at. They can order it from there. We'll put a link on our show there that they can click on it too to go to
Right.
it. And now, when you was writing this book, how did you come up with the idea just to write the book itself? I mean, how did you come up with what you was going to write?
One word to another. I started out with what kind of instrument are you? You know, because I had been thinking, you know, you thinking before you write, you thinking. I was, you know, and I started with instrumentalist sound, and I was watching TV, and little hook words come up, and you just got to keep writing. And I think we used to call it in a free writing. I think we called it at school. You remember that free writing where you just write. That's the way I did that and sent it
Creative writing.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, sent it to Dorians, and they come up with a book. they good. They come up with a book with what I sent them. They good.
Well, and I know that you based a lot on your life experience, and I think everybody should write a book about their life experience. You say, "Well, gosh, I don't have nothing to write about." You'll be surprised
You'll
what
be
you have to
surprised.
write about.
Well, I said a
Each
word
day.
in here. I used this word right here, and I think I go back sometimes and I think about it, and it's one word. And I was looking at TV at that time, and that word was interfere. Oh, I said something about thank God for grace. That was it. I'm thinking about sometimes we are in tune or out of tune. I'm thinking about singing, the choir.
Right.
You in tune or out. And just like a symphony orchestra. How much do people pay to hear a symphony orchestra?
Oh, wow.
You are in tune. You better be in tune or out of tune. You can be in tune or out of tune, just like life.
Yeah.
Are you in tune like we are in tune?
Right.
Sometimes we're not. We don't jam like this because she keeps me in place. I keep her in place. We work together with VBS at the church and things like that, and she's very quick to give her opinion.
Yeah. Well, and that's good feedback. I mean,
I needed it. I needed it.
how many people went out of my church and says, "That's a great sermon." And I knew they were sitting over asleep.
Okay.
And I know all of them can't be great. I like for all of them to be great, but it's not. But you used the word sympathy with the orchestra, and first thing popped in my mind: each instrument is different, but they blend all together.
Better. That's life.
Yes.
Make a beautiful sound.
Make a beautiful sound. That's what the people paid for.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I like the analogy you used with the instruments. That's why I asked you, do you play the instruments, but
No.
you use those by hearing and experiencing it.
I was thinking about the choir. I sang on the Sims High Chorus in my last year, I think at 12th grade. And I got an alto part. And but the sopranos were so pretty. You know, their voice was so pretty. I sang alto, but I was listening over that soprano, you know. But I'm out of tune because I'm trying to sing soprano over in the alto line.
Gotta stay in your lane.
The lady said, the piano player said, somebody off. So, you know, it's like that. You have got to focus, be in tune, or you're out of tune.
Yeah, that's kind of like Barney Five was in the choir, and, and the guy was saying, and he says, "There's somebody off." He says, Barney said, "I'll find out who it is." That would be me. I'd be finding out who it is. And see, I get distracted quite a bit because my mind just goes all the time.
Distraction. That's a great word.
And they'll be singing in the hymn book, and they'll be on verse 4, and I'm on verse 3 yet. And I have went on to verse 5, and there wasn't one. So they kind of used that a little. Used to be in the choir, and this little woman there, she'd sing beside me, and she'd go, boop. I always told myself, I leave our sore ribs every Sunday.
Well, that's like when Hester said, you got to know when to be quiet or to sing low.
Uh-huh.
So that you know which instrument you are and stuff. So
Yes.
you have to sing low so that beautiful sound can come up. I can be there as a part of the choir.
Right.
But I better not sing anything but low. So low.
So low.
Here. Okay.
So what instruments you would say that you were?
You know, I was wondering about that when you were talking to Hester about instrumentally sound and stuff, and reading the book and stuff. It makes you, you stop and you think, because you say, wow, just what instrument am I? And then for me, I don't know about others, but for me, I stopped and I was one instrument, and then different phases of your life, you know, you're a different instrument, and as you grow and stuff, you know, I was several different instruments. And tomorrow, I don't know what instrument I'll be, but I might be a different instrument than what I've been thus far. So I can't say that I'm one, because I'm several.
Right.
That's why I don't hear several.
Yeah.
Several. It's not just one now. But I'm leaning towards the drum because of the basketball that played so much a great part in my life. I played basketball until I was close to 30. You know, we played in a league up in Packlet. We played for a doctor, Dr. Umbrant.
Okay.
Our names we were the Medicos. We had a great time. You know, I was working in the mill from 8 to 4. Get off from work, be in Packlet about 6 to play basketball.
Wow.
We were what they call it, industrial league, industrial athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Out of high, and that's what it was. Working people.
Right.
Working people
It's like
that haven't.
Some of these places used to have leagues of bowling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bowling leagues.
Right.
Now
And
that's
the
something I ain't never
softball.
been able to do.
And the softball league.
Right.
Also.
Softball.
Yes.
They still have that.
Yes.
Intramural. That's at school though. Intramural at school, I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Do they still have that?
Here
You got
in
to,
Union?
because everybody can't play on the
Basketball,
basketball team, so they have intramural.
Right.
Yes.
No, what
Basketball.
what we used to do as kids, you know, and yourself, you know, we would get up a game, we'd start calling all of our friends around the neighborhood, as long as they can hold a bat and swing and hit like it. We'd
that
get
was
there
it.
and choose up and just we had our own team.
I don't want him on my team. He can't play.
I must have been on your team.
How do you remember who gonna hit first? You remember how we used to do that?
And grabbing the bat.
Grabbing the bat, go up the pole,
Go way up
Go
around
and
who
see
gets to
who's
the last
the-
one.
and that was just as crooked. That was just as crooked.
Yeah, because
But it
a
was-
friend of mine, he had hands bigger than Rick. He had hands, I know, they were that big.
Yes.
He done took up 3 spots.
Well, Oh
Yeah,
my!
yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you, but it was good. We just wanted to play.
That's it.
We-
that was it.
And you know what I loved about it too is that if we had a boy there that didn't have a glove, somebody always brought an
Yeah.
extra one.
Yeah.
Here, you
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
this right here.
Yeah.
You know.
What about the boys that if they won't let him play? My ball, I'm taking my ball
Ball
home. We can't play.
We've had that before.
Children.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
a great
Take them off his
time.
own.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we'd camp out and do all that stuff there. Yeah, it was just fun stuff
Yeah.
that I think that made us who we are today.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We show compassion.
Yeah.
We
Compassion.
and-
That was the subject at our breakfast Saturday. Compassion. Have compassion on one another. But I attribute everything that I've accomplished back to middle school because my friends loved me. You know.
Yeah.
We run in a pack, about 6 girls, and we loved each other. We fight sometimes, but we loved each other. I think we went through high school, we ran track together, some of us played basketball together, but we were always like this.
Yeah.
You know, so
And you remember things from there that really makes you who you are today. I think
Exactly.
that's why we need great teachers. That's why
Great
we need
teachers.
great mentors because
Mentors.
the kids today, they really don't, they're not growing up like we used to go out and be creative, mind creative. We used to build forts and things, you know,
Yeah.
and we just be more creative and also social.
Yeah,
Social is a big thing.
That's one
all
of the
us
things that we
kids,
did.
we
really
built
did.
anything. We
We
had
were-
only tool we had was a hammer.
Yeah, but we were social with, not only with the children, we were social with their parents. Their parents knew when we came up.
Yeah.
They talked to us.
Well, they say
And
now
enjoyed it.
parents know who your children's friends are.
Oh,
right.
yes.
That's what they say about children and parents now. And our parents did that. My parents did that.
Yes.
Mine
And
too.
then the parents
As
connected,
a
and
parent,
so
I did.
everybody was there.
And the comedian I listen to a lot, he's passed away now. He was talking about. He says when they done away with the front porches,
Oh, yes.
that's when neighborhoods started going down because you sit on your front porch. Somebody walk by, hey, how you doing? Or they'd walk
You
up
waved
and
and
speak,
spoke to everyone.
walk
Yeah.
around.
Your
dogs.
children over there throwing rocks.
Yes.
Hell, heck, come on them to get you now.
Exactly.
Yeah, parents, it took a village. It still takes a village.
Village.
It does, and that's where we come in.
Oh, yes.
Actually, as you yourself is writing this book, it's not only just a book; it's your life and how you apply your life the way it is, and the way you mentor other kids and others in your neighborhood. You might not think they're not listening,
Yes, they are.
but they are. They're listening
Yes.
and watching.
I heard a professor
They
say his
definitely
daughter
watch
was a sponge. She's a sponge. He talks and talks. She take it all in. She takes it all in, and when she get ready, she'll squeeze it out,
Yeah.
Let it out.
let it out.
Well, I know that you would think they might not be listening because they're on the phone and stuff like that. That they can hear. They know what it is there. But I think one of the things, even with the schools now, that make sure that they don't have phones anymore, and some of the kids in school now said they like that because now they're actually talking to their friends. They're already communicating, and they even had board games out there and stuff for them to enrich their mind. And it changed. It changed a little bit in their lifestyle. And the more media and more things we have now, I think it dumbs us up a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Used to you just read something like, wait a minute, I just Google it. Or I ask Siri's. Siri's don't even like me.
And AI is really booming now. A lot of kids, it really dumbs you up.
Yeah.
You can go on AI and a couple of words, and wow, AI would print something out for you. And it would just do the whole subject and everything. You're like, wow, that's just amazing.
It is.
It works so fast.
Plagiarism.
And it does not. it doesn't help you any.
No.
No, it
Now,
doesn't.
I've used the AI a couple times with, I used some animation characters and typed in there what I wanted the animation the character to say, and it'd pick up and move its mouth just like anything, and I moved it wherever they wanted to point to and stuff, which was pretty cool like that. But now it's getting even more and more serious about it, that we're, seem like anything good, we turn around, somehow it's going to be bad.
Yes.
To it. And just the basics of life is what we got to teach our children,
Yes.
That's it.
or they're not going to survive. You know, and I think with your book like that, even with grown-ups and even the kids, if they could read the book and understand actually how it's applying to them, and I know you had a book signing, but I think they need to maybe have you come into some of the schools, elementary schools, stuff like that, to talk about your book and how and ask them, write down on a piece of paper, what instrument are you? You know,
You gonna get some answers there.
oh yeah, you're gonna get some
You gonna get
answers.
some answers for them children.
And we'll be ready for book number 2.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Kids
that's
say
it.
the craziest things.
They do,
you know.
they do.
Crazy
But you can learn so much from them.
Yes.
If you take the time to listen to them. They have so much to say, but there's a whole lot packed into what they say.
It is, and we as adults, we need to slow down enough to take a time and listen. I know at my church, whenever I'm talking, well, anywhere, when I'm talking to a small child, I get on my knees where I'm eye to eye to them, because I knew when I was growing up, it's like I always had to look up like
Look
this
up.
and almost like towering over you, and it gives you kind of scared a little bit, you know. And in doing that, I said, I'm not going to do that to a child. I'm going to sit down and look them straight in the eye, and I get better answers with this. And sometimes they'll sit down and they'll start telling me stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because they feel comfortable with it. Some stuff I don't want to hear without their parents.
I went back to the pyramids when they got to talking about looking up. You know, think about that.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
look up. You look up.
I know one of the things way back when, 6 o'clock in the evening, be in the house because Dad was going to be there. You're going to have dinner.
Yeah.
And
Lights.
yes, you're going to be there. You're going to have your dinner with them at 6 o'clock. Regardless of what you're doing, drop everything, run home. And that's why I realized when I had my son, we talked a lot there at the table.
Right.
We discussed a lot of things, and just being there with my dad, he would ask sometimes some questions way out here, and I was like, okay, this is what we did today, this is what we're going to do, this is what's happening at school, and you know, Dad and Mama had me to do this, do you think that was right? And my dad would say, well, do what your mama say.
Exactly.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to have to deal with me later. So I didn't want to deal with him because he was like 6'2.5" and no.
Well, we our family, we get together, all of us, one time a month, and we all get
Now?
together. And yes, and we've been doing it for years and years.
Okay.
And we get together in a dinner, and we talk about what's been going on with us. Of course, we call during the week and go out during the week sometime, but we spend 1 month at my daughter's house, and we all get together, her brothers, our daughters and sons and family. We all get together and we talk about what's going on with us this month, what is coming up next, what is doing us here.
That's
And
wonderful.
we don't use our phones, we actually
That's
communicate. And,
phones off.
and we're teaching our grandchildren this,
Yes.
that they got to participate. And I think, like you saying, your dad
Yeah.
getting home for supper, you better be home for supper.
Oh, definitely.
Think about
Definitely.
now, how many
Families have dinner
out of
together.
10 families now, how many you think have dinner together?
And sit and talk.
Now they got the TV table and the TV's there, and then they got the
Everybody's
little
got a
cell
cell
phone, and the cell phone is going on, and then after dinner, they disappear.
Disappear. Yeah.
Nobody's there to.
What a babysitter, right?
Right.
Turn it on.
Hey, that's the babysitter. That's the person to carry on a conversation with, and if they don't like it, what's on TV, then they go back and it's like you say, I'll Google it.
Oh,
Let me see what. I don't believe what you're saying. And let me.
And didn't you get 400 different answers?
Yes.
Well, that's a whole lot about what my book is saying. Being instrumentally sound.
Right.
You know, listen. And see what's being played out. And like I got in here, being played and being played.
Played.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be played like a piano sometimes. You're gonna be played.
Yeah.
So be sound and see what is really happening.
Yes.
The way all
It's
these
like-
cameras are, we get played a lot, don't we?
Get played a lot.
Well, I know you asked the ladies about what instrument. I'm kind of like Lee Afro. It's depending upon the day. Which instrument am I today? I really like the congos.
Right.
I play a little bit of the congos. I'm not good at it. But other than that, I've always wanted to do a guitar, and the guitar is a steel guitar. So that's the one I would, because I love the music that comes from a steel guitar.
I got a young man come on my show that was on America's Got Talent. And he is country as everything.
Okay.
He's about 21 years old, and he sings the old country songs and writes his own. And when he talks about things, he talks about that. Yeah, I'm over here like a turnip green and stuff. I just remember just so wonderful the way his voice is, and he plays the steel guitar, and it just so smooth.
It is.
Oh, yes.
And all and instruments are beautiful. I wished I could play.
Music is
Oh, yes.
So relaxing,
so relaxing and
peaceful.
Now, what is your favorite song you like to sing?
my favorite song to sing is probably Whitney Houston.
Oh, wow.
I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and lead them. And
Let them lead the way.
Yes.
and then Stephanie Mills got a song called Home. Home. You ever heard that? Diana Ross sang that. But my favorite song of all is what's his name? Andy Williams. What is it?
Y'all sing too?
Oh, no.
Solo.
I don't even play the solo part. I just sit, hold the book.
We're after the same rainbows and right around the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River.
Moon River. Oh, okay.
Moon River.
Okay.
Yeah.
We learned Blue Moon, Moon River. We
Right.
learned that in elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. 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 And that,
So-
what little bit singing I do like, I do an Elvis song. If anybody do Elvis.
Hey,
Elvis
we used to
song
go to
like that.
movies every Saturday to see Elvis.
And you, Louis Armstrong, I'll sing.
Oh, okay.
What a Wonderful World.
What a wonderful
And I
world.
use type his voice to sing it.
Uh-huh.
And when I do that, I have people inside there go, he's singing that, he's singing that. Because I kind of make it sound like him because I like more of an imitation than actually singing.
Singing.
Oh, what a wonderful world.
But I love
Yes.
my first love for songs is hymns.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love hymns.
Yeah.
Love lifted me.
Yes. And, you know,
I was sinking
I love the spiritual.
deep in sin.
Yes.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't care too much about the more modern songs, especially when they get into more type of rock type band singing songs. I guess because it's just me being old school. I know the kids, you got to do difference from that. But I love the old spiritual hymns,
Oh my.
Yes.
and that really just brings out the soul. In you,
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh yes.
And I like the Motowns too.
Oh,
Oh
Like
yeah.
Motown Bobby.
yeah.
You know Motown Bobby?
Oh,
We
yeah.
went to high school together.
Yes.
Motown Bobby.
His
The,
uncle was Smokey Robinson.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
We went to see Smokey Robinson too.
Yeah.
We used to go to concerts. We grew up going to concerts.
And children nowadays don't go to too many concerts.
Well, can they afford to? I mean,
Well,
the ticket
they
sum
save
was
up everything.
outrageous. Yeah.
yes.
When I went, you could spend $20 to get in to go see it.
Yes.
And one of my, I guess, favorite fun concert that I went to was the Beach Boys. And they had these big balloons that they would hit and like beach balls all over the audience and stuff. And I like that. And, but it's but some of them I'm just not going to pay $300 or $400 to go see when I can watch them on TV. Or YouTube.
Oh yes, on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, let's go. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, did you ever hear of the Commodores?
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh, I went to school with them, so.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
We were there at Tuskegee together.
Yeah, I like
And
to
then they
interview.
moved on.
I like to
Left me
interview
there.
them. Yeah, they're great. I tried to pick out some of the older bands and
Oh, yeah.
like I said, T.G. Shepherd and all them, Ronnie McDowell and Loretta Lynn, and of course Charlie Daniels and Air Supply and Beaver Brown Band and John Cavity stuff. But I love the old school. John Hoyt, I've got him coming on my show. He's a beach band.
I've heard
guy.
of him.
And see, it's John Hoyt and the Hot Chili Peppers. And but I love a little bit all kind of music. I think even
I do too.
people was talking about the Super Bowl like that.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, music, whether it is rapped out or sung in a different way from country or whatever, to me it is whatever the words are. You listen to the words, and to me, the words are more powerful. A lot of times we forget about the words. It's like in church, we'll listen to the hymn and get the hymn like that, and we do it so repetitively that we forget about the words. And
I could be singing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Father, I stretch my hands to thee.
It just.
You get confused.
Yes.
Different song.
right.
Different song. But,
Yeah, and we
but
do-
that's why they have hymn books.
That's right. That's why I have to use it.
I use it.
And
I use it.
but and that's just like the Lord's Prayer, and we get so repetitive on it that we just say it and really no feeling there, no meaning, not really knowing that
Within it,
you're talking to God here. And it's like when I say the blessing at dinner.
Okay.
I ask God one thing, that's to bless that food. That's my focus is on that, for Him to bless the food. I don't put in world peace and all this right here. That's different prayers
serious.
at different
Yes.
time.
I'm serious.
That's for that.
I've noticed that in churches when you say, okay, we're going to pray over the tithes, they go all the way around and talk about healing somebody's foot, or we go to this, and we need it. And it's like, well, I thought we was praying over the tithes. Let's
Yes.
stick with the tithes and use it for the uplifting of your kingdom. Why are we over here talking about other healings? And if you want to say financial healing, as you said earlier,
Right.
But a lot of people don't like to go into the financial healing, and nor do they like to talk about tithes. When we start talking, as Ms. Leah said, they don't want to talk about tithes because that's their money, not God's money.
Yeah.
And so let's just remember that.
Yeah,
It's all is His.
And some gets in that saving mode. The church is not a savings bank.
Go.
It's commissions, and
Oh yeah.
you're got to keep the church upgraded. You got to keep things looking nice there. That's God's house,
Yes.
not ours.
That's right.
Now let's talk about something else.
What is that?
Okay.
Memory.
Memory.
Memories.
Okay, cats.
Barbara,
This right here.
Barbara Streisand. Memories. Okay.
Now you composed, and I've got written right there what you sent me there.
Okay.
About the memory game. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was reading it, looking at it like that, I was thinking, how's this go right here now?
You couldn't do it from
you're
there,
gonna-
could
So
you?
you're going to have to explain that to me, because
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure that out. And I'm saying, am I 100? Am I go back to 101 or 1?
Okay. What? It's a brain exercise, and what we do is we call it keeping it 100, or fill in the blank, or memory care, all as I said before, the brain exercise. But it starts with 100. And I composed it where a lot missing numbers are not there.
Right.
But if you continue this, you will be able to do this on your own. Like I say, like 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, 92, 91, 90, 89, 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68.
On and on.
Huh?
On and on.
67, 60. What was 76?
67.
67.
66.
66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 21, 20, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Don't forget 0 now.
Well, so I used to do, when a kid, when trying to learn how to count to 100.
Yeah.
And I figured out a way when I would count to 100. I said, you know what? It's really kind of easy because I'm going 0 to 10.
Yeah.
And then I'm putting another at 1 up there, going there, and going like 11. I said, well, I'm just still counting to 10 again, just
Yeah.
so I got a 1 there.
It's over.
And I got a 2 here, still counting to 10.
10.
And go all the way up.
And just keep going
But,
with that. Yes.
I think this guy, Descartes, said that.
Now, how often do you do this as an exercise? Do you
I've
need
been
to do
doing
it
this
every day?
more. I've been doing this more than 15 years.
Do you do it every day or?
No, not every day, but you don't need that paper once you learn it there. You know, I could be talking to you now and I could be saying 199, 88, 77, you know.
Right.
You know, it's...
I couldn't do that because I'd be sitting there talking to you and you said you was 98.
You have to focus.
That's like sleeping during
focus.
the sermon and saying, "Oh, what a wonderful sermon."
So,
That's
They were
it.
sitting there counting the whole time.
Yeah, but it's you have to focus, and that's what I want. That's what I think that some people that are dementia,
Right.
they're not focusing. But it says that Descartes says that that there's a ghost in the machine. We are a machine. There's a ghost in the machine, and if you don't keep that ghost woke,
yes.
it's just think about Casper, the friendly ghost, where he bumps around. You know, you have to. I think there's something else there besides just a machine.
Right.
But I couldn't find it. But it.
Well, I
Find
think
it. What Descartes said is there's a ghost in the machine. What page is that on?
you know, it's a brain. I think our brain is like a muscle anyway. We got to
yes,
exercise.
you got to
We
exercise.
You got to exercise it. You got to
it.
exercise
If
it.
we don't, just like when I'm getting older, I'll say, okay, I'm going to retire here shortly, and all I'm going to do is sit in that chair and do nothing.
I can be.
And watch the boo too.
Exactly.
I can be.
So
My
pick it
brain
up.
would be mush. My
Yes.
mouth would be mush.
Exactly.
I can wake up at nighttime. Okay, I put my pocketbook somewhere at night. And so when I get up that morning, where is my pocketbook? It shows up. It shows up.
Well, see, I'm one of those people that
shows up in the mind.
I have to put everything exactly back where I got it.
Everything
If I
has a
don't,
place.
even when I pack up this stuff here,
Yeah.
it goes one place.
Yeah.
It gets packed a certain way. My keys go to a certain place. My billfold's in one place. All this is in one place. That way, when I'm ready to go somewhere, I know exactly where it's at. Now, if it
Okay.
gets moved, or someone else, I have people ask, can I help you pack up? I says, no, I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
Because-
So you like from 1 to 100,
paper.
and if you take 22 out, you're kind of like, wait a minute, something is missing here.
Look at
Right.
these cards.
And I can't find it.
Yeah, she can't find it. I'm not that way. I can place it here, and
72,
then I'll
go
say, well, it's
72.
not there, and then I'll go back. I'll follow myself back, and I'll say, okay, this is where, and I go steps back. And following those
That's it
steps
right there.
backwards, oh, this is where I had it, this is where I had that, and then I'll move forward, because then I'll skip all that, and I'll go forward, and I'm moving forward rather fast, I'd say.
Well, I'm kind of hyper, and if I don't put everything like that, and if I have to sit down and tracing back where I went like that, it drives me nuts.
Oh, okay.
And so I have to kind of put it in there, because I guess if we had those letters that they have today, ADD, HD, and all that stuff.
All that back then, oh,
Well, I
wow.
probably had that back then. The only thing I got was a PADDLE with a paddle.
Yes.
Read this little thing from Descartes. He said that pulling the string likened the body to a machine, which is controlled by a separate entity, the mind. The mind receives information from the senses via the brain and processes it using reasoning. That's a whole nother thing we get into reasoning. We probably have to bring Dr. Charles in then for real. But he says a ghost in the machine. Some philosophers did not accept the dualist idea of a distinction between the mental and physical. Especially in the 20th century, there was a feeling that mental events could be explained in terms of the physical workings of the brain. English philosopher Gilbert Ryle dismissed the idea of a separate mind and body by saying that we can be tricked into thinking that a machine has a conscious mind when in fact it is just doing the task it is designed to do. All we are seeing, he argued, is a ghost in the machine, in quotes. Similarly, what Descartes regarded as a separate mind is actually an integral part of our physical body, the way that they work and how they behave. And this number thing that I'm doing, from 100 to 1, or 1 to 100, it keeps the mind going, exercising the mind.
Right. And part of that, when you talk about the machine like that, it brought me back to the AI again.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Lord, I can't talk on that.
Yeah. Well, we have enjoyed having y'all.
Enjoyed
You
being
can tell by
here.
the clocks, all that going on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we made it. We made it.
We made it.
Thank you so much for having us
Well, thank you for
Yes.
coming.
during this month of February when we talk about the heart, and it's the
All in
month
one.
of love and stuff. When we talk about instrumentally sound, if we are instrumentally sound, it all comes together
full
in
circle.
love, and that's what we need to share more and more and more in order so that we can get to a place of peace in this world. So.
Exactly. And the
I'm
world
sound
needs
about
it.
that. I'm instrumentally
The
sound.
world needs peace, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
It
thank
is.
all of y'all for coming. And let me switch back over here. All right, y'all heard we had some good conversations here, and use your comment, send a message, buy the book. The book's going to be out there. You'll see the link coming to it. Next Monday, I'm going to have Miss Benz, and what she is a young girl that plays a guitar that you would not believe how she plays this. We talk about in tune, an instrument. She's an instrument in herself. So stay tuned for next Monday for that. And I'm Jerry McKee, and thank you for watching.